Hey everybody, I just want to talk to you about hand care. I know the last couple days have been pretty rough when it comes to your hands. We had yesterday with Monday being pull-ups, that Cindy workout for 20 minutes, 5 pull-ups, right, every round, plus the rowing, still also tearing up your reps a little bit. Today we had the toes to bar, which is probably even worse on your hands. And then we also had the deadlifts, which everybody knows how terrible those are. So I just want to talk a little bit about some of the things that I do to help with not tearing. And that way we can all maybe use some of that information and be able to keep from ripping. Okay, so and as you can see, did the workouts okay yesterday. I only did 10 minutes instead of the 20 minutes, but I did do chest to bar pull-ups instead of the normal pull-ups, so I would like to think that I did okay. But you can see my hands, they're not very pretty. Okay, but they're not torn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of the tools that I use. And I will show you kind of how they're used, and then what you can do to help, like I said, help prevent you from ripping going forward. Now, this isn't a guarantee, but this is a good step towards preventing that from happening. All right, I'm going to go over some of the tools that I use to try to take care of my hands. Mostly this stuff is just going to be for smoothing out your hands, getting your calluses down, okay? And even some of just your thick skin. It's kind of hard to see, but right here you can see some of my calluses. You can just see my skin is very rough, okay? Right, and then right here we have some thick, just really thick skin around my knuckles. Okay, that's just from holding the bar, that kind of stuff. Okay, you can see my other hands, kind of the same thing. My hands are very disgusting. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to show you is something that probably a lot of the women are familiar with, petty egg. Okay. I call it a cheese grater. So with the petty egg, okay, basically it does exactly what I just said. It's a cheese grater. Okay. So a couple things you can do. Obviously, sit here and just kind of, right, get down those calluses, okay? Right, and then it'll go in here. Obviously, everyone has probably seen these before. The other part of the petty egg, which is really nice if you already have one of these, a lot of people do, is it has a sandpaper, which you can do a final smooth, right, to get that down. Okay, make it nice and smooth. All right, so that's the first thing. Next thing I'm going to show you is just a couple different pumice stones that I use, okay? So this one is one that I keep in the shower. So what I'll do is I'll take a really long hot shower and then let my, kind of let my skin get really soft. Then I'll just use this one to just sit there and kind of grind down on my calluses. Okay, and just keep working at them and getting them down. Okay, until they're nice and smooth and even all the way across. This one's kind of the same thing. It's a little bit smoother. Okay, so, and it's bigger, it's got a handle, it's a little bit nicer. Okay, so same thing, all over your hand, right? And I know this stuff's kind of gross. The next thing I'm going to show you is another thing. I think these are also, actually, a lot of this stuff is used for pedicures, but they work really well for taking care of your calluses. But same thing with this one, it's got kind of a rough edge, like a grater of some sort, and then on the other side it has the sandpaper. Okay, so same thing. Just kind of work it until it's nice and smooth and low. Okay, and you can see the calluses are already starting to go down and go away. Like I said, you also want to make sure that you get your anything where it's like really thick skin, because that can grab and rip off as well. Okay, so you can see it is getting a lot smoother. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to show you is basically it's a razor blade. So it's kind of hard to see, but there's actually a razor blade right there. I don't know if that's focusing or not. There's a razor blade right there. Okay, and all you're going to do is sit here and just kind of run it across. And I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's literally just taking pieces of my callus off. Okay, it's got to be careful you don't go too deep. And okay, this is like my favorite one. Okay, and get it nice and low. Okay, and so that's that. And then the last thing, if you don't have any of that stuff, most people have nail clippers. You can use your nail clippers, even nail clippers, to just kind of take some of the big pieces off. Okay. So the last thing I want to talk about is the maintenance. Okay. So one thing that you want to make sure you do is, if you are the type of person who uses chalk a lot, make sure you wash your hands immediately after getting done working out, and then put lotion on your hands. I know most of us guys don't like to use lotion, but I can tell you right now, if you're the type that's prone to ripping, putting lotion on your hands and constantly putting lotion on your hands all day, like just every time you think about it, put some lotion on your hands. Make sure your hands don't dry out and are very pliable, okay? Keep your calluses down, keep the thick skin down, keep your hands moisturized, make sure they're very pliable, and they're going to be less likely to rip, okay? If you have any questions, please let me know.